Good day! I'm Michael C. Garcia Jr.
I'm Divine A. De La Cruz.
And I'm Mark Luis C. Quilandirino.
We are the Grade 11 Computer System Servicing under the advisory of Sir Joseph A. Lazo.
Today, we will discuss our study that we did that regards to the
Problems encountered by grade 11 and 12 CSS students towards modular distance learning. To express our views in clear manner, we created this visual presentation that will help you to understand what our study is all about. Our research will examine some of the issues, problems on modular distance learning that encountered of grade 11 and 12 CSS students. CSS students have many problems, challenges, and difficulties encountered towards modular distance learning. From the way to study, what kind of strategies that will follow, and also how to adapt themselves in these situations.
Conversely, the modular distance learning has certain adversities to both parents and students.
Distance learning is also known as correspondence education or home study. It's a form where there is a little or no face-to-face interactions between students and to their instructors.
Now that we are familiar with the background of the study, we can move on to support it. Modular distance learning approach, self-contained package dealing with a specific giving knowledge to students in convenient forms so that the learners can complete at his or own pace independently modules in form of self-instructional package and regarded as related to recent phenomenon. It can enable the learners to have a control over the learning and accept greater responsibility of learning.
But how could the learners enable and study well in this kind of learning if they are facing some problems and challenges that may can affect to their modular distance learning?
Major problem.
This study aims to investigate the deep causes why did CSS students encounter difficulties to their learning.
Specific problem.
Specifically, it identifies, seeks, and gives some thoughts that define answers to the following. Number 1. CSS students do not have time for online training and they encounter difficulties.
In these situations, maybe the students are busy and they can't handle the school works.
Number 2. The students do not know if how the course exists.
In this situation, the students can get what is their passion and they can't understand themselves. Maybe they need some guides.
Number 3. How to talk or consult other people.
In this situation, when the students are stay at home, their ability to talk or interact to other people become weak. Research design. In view of the nature of the research problem, this study used phenomenological study as a research design. This design indicates the gist of this study in the search for the main issue or problems and underlying to the case meaning of the research and looking side to side in participants in all involved experience.
Sampling procedure. We are the researchers use quota sampling. Quota sampling is non-probability sampling method in which researchers create a sample including individuals that represent a population. This kind of sampling has been subdivided into classes or categories. It would be also a survey in which researchers desire to obtain a certain number of respondents from various categories. Besides, quota sampling was used to get 20 students respondents.
Instrumentation or tool being used. The main tool that we use by the researchers in gathering data is the survey method through online interviews. The researchers request to check the appropriate information being asked in the interview through what are the importance of modular distance learning to grade 11 and 12 CSS students? We noticed that through modular distance learning, the education is still continued and the students keep safe from the virus.
To visualize the numbers of the respondents replied in the different problems encountered by grade 11 and 12 CSS students. Let's see the bar graph.
What are the reasons why CSS students can experience those problems? The reason why CSS students can experience those problems are they have no proper hands-on and practice in learning computer system servicing by the help of modular distance learning discussions. Many lessons and activities are given that can do all of students that they become timid. From noise in their environment, they cannot focus within that way. They are distracted and they responsible in the heavy household chores in their own house.
What are the consequences in pursuing the modular distance learning? The consequences in pursuing the modular distance learning that they encountered nowadays are overwhelming the students, resulting to load of stress and anxiety. They cannot prevent being distracted while doing paperwork. Self-study is happened because of discussions. And the most commonly known is students obsessed to cheat because they did not understand their lessons. How did CSS students overcome those problems through modular distance learning?
The students overcome those problems by the help of the following: praying, having self-confidence, having time management and self-discipline, have bonding time with friends and family, use technologies for study research, asking teachers and instructors about the given modules, playing mobile games and watching anime to relieve stress.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of modular distance learning?
The advantages and disadvantages of modular distance learning is depends to their own lifestyle.
Conclusion for the findings of number 1. Based on the statements of respondents that modular distance learning is important and useful because of the phenomenon to avoid the spreading of virus and to keep safe these students with the help of modular distance learning, education never stops.
Conclusion for the findings in number 2. According to the statement of the respondents, there are many problems that encountered by the CSS students toward modular distance learning, and it depends to the life situation.
Conclusion for the findings of number 3. Based on our observation, according to gathered information through online survey and interviews, that the reason why the CSS students encounter those problems because they don't have enough time and cannot manage their time because they have no self-discipline.
According to the findings and conclusion made by the researchers, the following recommendations are heavily presented by considering by all concerned.
I recommend to conduct face-to-face hands-on with 3 students in one day by following the protocols given by the government to ensure the security and safety of everyone.
Then, I recommend reading and watching lessons about using their cell phones, and for those who do not have gadgets, they must try to ask their families, relatives, or classmates to let them borrow their laptops for computer, but make sure to be a responsible user or borrower.
And last but not the least, recommend that the lessons in modular distance learning can be taught using provided that all learners should have their own computer devices, peripherals, and other tools to be used to be the practicum. As a researchers, we determine
that the most problem of this study is where the students are cannot manipulated by their instructors because of the modular distance learning. I believe in the saying, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.
and I believe in the saying that education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the whole world. And again, I'm Michael C. Garcia Jr.
And I'm Divine de la Cruz.
We are the researchers about
problems encountered by grade 11 and 12 CSS students towards modular distance learning.
Thank you for watching.
어느 날 세상이 멈췄어